As a concept, I think it's a really cool looking concept so far with what I'm seeing, and it seems to be integrating with the landscape, which is something that I personally enjoy. So the cool thing about this concept, which is this like rotating, almost lotus-like concept, is that it allows you to create really unique spaces like this, and you maintain the visual connection with the central courtyard as you're peeking over here on the right. Now, there's a few problems with this. Anytime you go into like a circle or anything that becomes too angular, it creates really awkward spaces. So I'm curious to see what they did with those awkward spaces in this design.
Red hot chili peppers. This distinct compound, situated on 5.7
Nice,
acres,
huge.
consists of 3 architectural
Okay,
structures,
we got 3 structures.
including the 7-sided
Oh, wait,
structure
wait,
with
wait, wait, wait,
interior
wait.
court,
What was that?
including
Okay, this thing right here, that can't be what I think it is. Is that really one of those back out mirrors to allow you to see oncoming traffic? I I hope to God it's not, because if it is, they could have figured that out better. But hopefully it's not.
one is a
There it
modern
is.
structure.
Okay, so awesome. First of all, I just want to congratulate the designer. This is a really cool way to deal with that weird angle. I don't know this project at all, but it seems like this is a point in the intersection where you're gonna have cars coming in and out, and they want to make sure they see, a car being able to back out or whatever. And this is a really interesting way. It almost seems like it's a window of some sort, and they made it reflective so that they could see cars coming in and out. I might be totally off here, but that's what it looks like. And I'm gonna have to go back on what I said previously. This is definitely how you want to handle stuff like this when you're talking about architectural design.
And the other is a mid-century, so you get the best of both
Interesting.
worlds. And it's currently on the market for $8.8
Cheap.
million.
Okay.
So we're currently standing in the living room of the Molson, and that was built in 2009 with an addition
This
in
is
2000.
awesome. Okay. So far, I love the idea of having a minimalist bedroom just like this. I just don't know how they did the balcony that way. There's no guardrail. You could just fall off that. I don't know how they were able to do that, how the code allowed them to do something like this, but definitely it's beautiful. The exposed concrete on both sides. This is incredible. I love this so far.
You can access the courtyard right off of the living room. What I like most about the courtyard is the solitude that's out here. You come out here, you have your morning coffee or your morning tea, 5-minute meditation, and get your
Okay, I do not like that central courtyard at all. It's kind of boring, honestly. There's nothing, there's some weird angles to it. It's pretty plain. About meditation, I could see myself meditating in so many other parts of this house so far. Honestly, that central courtyard is kind of lacking right now, but we'll see as we move into it.
This particular room, what I really love is this window.
I love a window. Okay.
Those that stand
It's
out
like
to
a
me
painting.
are the built-ins.
Okay,
especially
these
the back.
built-ins, in my opinion, are terrible so far. This looks like it looks almost like a preschool where you have all these cubby spaces for the kids to put their stuff, and the table definitely makes it seem that way as well. But this, in my opinion, was such a missed opportunity to create something that looks like it fit in. I'm talking about the millwork here. Something that would have been more integrated into the architecture so that it doesn't look like it was something that was bought on IKEA and then some contractor helps off the edge to connect both angles together. It's honestly what it looks like to me. Of course, the view is beautiful, but really this looks like a secondary design. There's really nothing interesting about this window. It's just a window.
Why don't you guys follow me this way? We're going to take a look at the kitchen. What I really
Okay,
like about the
pretty
kitchen
standard
is its
kitchen.
simplicity. You have these
Oof,
Caesar
I already
stone
saw something.
countertops,
A
super
creeping
simple
angle.
modern finishes. This kind of slate blue, it seems to be a theme
Yep.
throughout the house. When we go into the primary suite, you'll notice it in the bathroom. And
There it
again,
is.
you have
Okay,
this
something to keep
beautiful
in mind as a designer. Look at the trash can. I know it's not a big deal. People are really not bothered by this, but if you're going to be designing a really expensive home like this, you might want to think about the trash can, where it's going to go so that it's not in the middle of the room like it is here. It almost seems like there just wasn't enough space to hide it somewhere, but I think it really takes away from the architecture. If you're having a really unique space like this, why would you fill it up with clutter? That should have been already part of the cabinet space that's on the left and behind us in this shot. As far as the composition of the space goes, I do think it's beautiful. I love the fact that you have these interlocking spaces, interlocking volumes, and you do have natural light that's coming into the space, which is really nice. I just think that that specific cutout is kind of boring. I think that instead of it being a blank wall with some plants, they could have done something more interesting to that wall right there, because it's really not doing too much right now. And also, this is what I was talking about before. When you create really cool shapes like the one of this house, you unfortunately have to deal with the spatial composition of these weird angles. And this is one of them. I just don't appreciate how it terminates at the kitchen. There probably would have been a better place to place this kitchen, or a way cooler design that doesn't feel like it's just clashing into the space. It just feels like you have two things that are competing here, and it almost feels like the kitchen is secondary here. It's not like a grand space. It's just like almost like a small closet where your kitchen just happens to be.
Some of the things
Media,
I like
what?
most about this space
The
is
window. Yeah,
the
this guy loves the windows.
The windows throughout the house are
Yeah,
spectacular.
window is nice.
Breathtaking, mountain top views. So here we are with the Mahjong sofa that Flea custom built for this room. And being that I know that Flea is a huge Laker fan, I can only imagine how many games
I can't imagine how many games we're watching on this TV, because look at it. You have one, maybe two people sitting actually facing the television, and then the other 3 to 4 people are kind of like this, watching it sideways. It's just an awkward room. This is another one of those spaces that are suffering from the actual overall design of the house. But if we look at this space, there's really nothing interesting about it architecturally speaking. The window is really the only thing. Everything else is boring. If you are standing here, if I hadn't shown you the rest of the house and I was just standing right here in this spot, there would be nothing interesting as a TV space. This could have been some, maybe as he was mentioning about a meditation space, maybe this could have been a meditation room instead. Really controlled the way that the light came in through that window, but as a TV room, it's not functional at all. Here's another one. Now we have this bedroom where the TV is at an angle. So of course, we have hardware that allows you to bring the TV and make it, perpendicular to the bed so that you can watch it more comfortably. But it's almost like you're creating all these problems with the design for no reason, right? In my opinion, it could have been way more interesting to have angled a section of that wall over to make it perpendicular with the bed. And then that extra space that was created by the angle could now serve as a shelf for a reading area. That view is beautiful, though. I love the fact that you're in your bed and you're looking at the courtyard. That's incredible.
One of the cool features of the house is that there's really no doors except for in the primary suite. The door features in this room are quite unique.
Are these pocket doors?
Harsh angles.
Oh, they die into the wall. See, I love that. That is really cool. That's a cool way to deal with these weird angles. Bathroom is my favorite spot so far. Look at that. This is beautiful.
So the main structure is a curvilinear, penny-tiled.
Say that 3 times.
You're here taking a shower. You have the mirrors looking into your main bedroom.
So that if someone wants to sneak into your room, you can watch them at all times. Okay, yeah, let's just go back a second because that was beautiful. I think this is honestly my favorite space of all.
This is truly
I think as a competition, it's beautiful.
The bathroom really ties in with the geometric style of the house. If you notice the round tub.
See, this to me works. This to me works because the way that the architecture integrates with the actual program of the space, it makes sense from a design point of view, but also from a spatial point of view. Yeah. So it almost feels like the architect got hired to design this house, and he started by the bathroom, and then he got fired, and then the contractor took over using the existing plans that were unfinished. He's like, nah, I got this from here, and then he built the rest of the house.
So here we are.
That's cool. I like that.
My favorite feature of the house is this skylight. So
okay, it's your favorite feature. That incredible, beautiful detail right there. But I don't see why that's his favorite thing of the whole house. It's like there's so many way cooler things.
By the Bruce Wayne Batman feel. Flea was going to have this room for his guests, family, friends to come. But I think when he saw what was here, he was compelled to make this.
As I would have definitely made that my bedroom.
Beautiful waterfall type deck.
Oh, and you have that
out
beautiful
into
post
these
right there. I
huge
would have definitely
views
paid
of the
some extra money
canyons.
to get that tucked underground. This is incredible. I love
As you
that.
approach the house on the
Why
walkway,
we
you
have some
can't help but
benches that will
notice
never be
the
used there,
skylight
no
that's coming
idea,
up from the
but it's
subterranean bedroom
beautiful.
that was another really special piece here at the residence is this piece of art. It's a God's
What?
eye. It's by artist Jessica Stockholder.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
noticing.
art is not my forte, so I will
So here we
not
are at the
talk
original
about that.
structure built by Richard Neutra in
Okay.
1953. Richard
I always
Neutra
thought
is
it was
known for
Richard
his
Neutra for some
mid-century
reason, not Richard
modern
Neutra.
style.
I guess I was
Neutra was
taught
known
incorrectly.
for purchased the
The fact
house.
that Flea
Then
purchased a
also was
house
basically his
that has
primary
a
residence,
Richard
and the
Neutra or
really worked
Neutra
well for
building
him
on it
as a
already, I
flex
think that's
space,
already
a space that he
amazing.
can have
That's
guests over,
incredible.
family,
I wish they would have
entertain,
started this video
recording
by
music.
this, but
So
I guess
some
it
of the
wouldn't
great
have
features in the
captivated the
house
attention
that
of
are
many
here from
viewers.
Richard Neutra
Yeah,
bedroom sofa.
there's nothing I have to say about this. I mean, this was designed how long ago? 70 years ago, and
Most unique about
it's
Neutra's
just
kitchens is the
classic design.
simplicity to his
This is
designs. A lot of the
mid-century
original
architecture right
cabinetry
here,
that's
which
still
is
here, which is
incredibly
amazing.
beautiful.
Added
But
some
as a
modern
collection, definitely having
appliances.
it
You
as
can
part
see
of
the
the
sink and the
landscape, like,
stove
oh,
and this
that's a
beautiful
famous
mica
architect's
countertop,
building right there.
all in
I think
line
this is
with
amazing.
Richard's
But there's
original
really not
design.
much to
So
say
over
about
here we
this.
have
The
this
reason I wish it would have
breakfast nook,
started by
which is
here
really
instead
cool. It
is
has
because
this
I would have liked to see what
custom
that other
Neutra
design did
sliding table that you can
as a
tuck
way to
away for
complement
space just
this
because of
design,
the
which it
minimalistic
didn't
style
from
of
what
the
we saw. It
architecture.
tends to contrast everything that was done over here. I'm guessing that's the end of the video.
Thank you
Yeah.
for joining me on this
You're
tour of
welcome, man. Thank you. Thank
4947
you for giving
Mark
us
Ridge
that
Road.
tour.
This
I think
property
this is overall, let's see. Overall, I think that it's one of those designs that unfortunately it's kind of sculptural, the actual concept of it. Um and because of that, it tends to take away from the interior spaces. So on the outside, it's a really cool looking house for sure. But on the inside, it doesn't really function well as a house, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's more like an Airbnb type house where you would stay at for a night or two, and it's cool to stay there. But to live there, not saying that Flea does. I'm sure that he's never at this house, right? But let's just say that we were living in this house as our only house or as our main house. It would be very uncomfortable to live there, right? So again, I know that's not the idea behind this design, but I'm just looking at the design itself as a design and its primary function, which is residential, and how well it does that. And it doesn't do it well at all. That's not to say that there's not some beautiful moments, and that's not to say that some of us would love living there. I mean, give that house to me right now, and I will take it immediately without even thinking about it. But as in terms of design, it's not good. So it's a unique concept, okay, not super unique. I've seen this been done hundreds and thousands of times before, but when you compare it to your typical residence, it is a unique design. It's something that we don't see often. So in terms of that aspect, I'll give it a couple of let's say, what do I rate this from 1 through 10? I rate this probably from 1 through a 10, 10 being best. I would say I rate it like a 6, maybe a 5.5. Maybe I'm being too generous. I don't know. I think it was fun. It was pretty cool to discover as the gentleman was showing us a space inside, but there really isn't anything that left me wanting more. I feel like I saw everything I wanted to see and I couldn't wait to get out. But the bathroom for sure is where most of those 5.5 to 6 points that I do give it, that's where it comes from because I thought that was beautiful. And actually, if I did give it a 5, that 0.5 that I add to it, making it 5.5, is definitely coming from that really ingenious solution that they came up with to show that cars are coming in and out of that driveway. That's what I assume that's for. I could be so wrong here, but if that's the reason why they did that, then they definitely deserve that, 0.5 extra point.